Promise appears to be a simple music video. However, knowing Eve is a lot more complicated than that. By the end of this video, I'll try to explain what's happened between two of the characters. If you enjoy these music video analysis, then don't forget to subscribe and leave a like so other people can find me. The video starts off with a black camera falling into the water. This symbolises our character is drowning, which only becomes worse later on. His grief is further emphasised by his black outfit and smoking on the deck. Something a previous troubled Eve character also did in Tokyo Ghetto. His friend appears either to be dying or is already dead, as there's no creature or representation of his soul under him. After learning how the friends came together, the video suddenly cuts to a dark atmosphere. The unexpected glitchy transition here is jarring compared to the softer, whiter transitions, to give a sudden feeling of despair. The creature representing him becomes a monster consuming him. In the new world without his friend, the once happy images are dull, in particular the images relating to his friend and the bridge. It's possible to think that the bridge in the music video causes him a lot of grief. There's a keep out sign in Eve language, Eve go, and the creature representing him goes inside the forbidden area. When he's following his friend, his head is down, and the shadow casts over him as he walks towards the bridge. Once he crosses halfway, rain is pouring in a dark setting. The memories he had with his friend are set ablaze, like wood in a fireplace. This makes him break down and drop his camera. His grief peaks with the creature growing out of control as he drowns, and it tries to swallow him whole. However, his friend pulls him out in time, caused by the fragments of a particular image of both of them smiling. He continues to live on in his friend's memory. We see a lot of role reversal between the two characters, from clothing, cameras, and even movement. As previously mentioned, in the opening our character is wearing black clothing, while his friend wears white. This is further emphasised by the characters wearing the same outfits as the transparent characters. However, the friend is wearing black while he wears white. When they turn around, they are quite literally looking back in time, and it's clear that the colour of their clothing has swapped. This shows that his friend has been feeling unwell during their time together. When we see the friend for the first time, his uniform is different from the others, which means he's a transfer student. The friend is usually in the dark, while the main character is in the light. It's the same during the boat scene, where the main character stands in the light while his friend is in the shadows. As they become close, the main character pulls the friend into the light. However, when the main character loses his friend, he is now in the shadow while his friend is in the light. And just in the same way he pulled his friend into the light, removing his shadow, his friend came and did the same thing for him. When they were happy together, the main character always led his friend, although it appears that he is unaware that his friend was sick. After being grief-stricken, they start walking in opposite directions, with his friend now leading him. The friend carries the white camera and seems to be at peace, smiling. The difference here is that while the main character didn't notice his friend being sick, he grabbed his friend's attention before losing it, causing him to turn around and bring attention to his distress. Even the direction of the wind changes, as it moves towards right and then towards the left. This is similar to another Eve song called Sister, where the boy continues to walk towards the right until he stops and walks towards the left. This was thought to mean that walking towards the right meant not moving forward, based on how Japanese is read from right to left. However, here the main character steps towards the left, forcing himself to move on. If all we do in life is look back, then it's worthless. But his soul moves forward into the bridge anyway, despite the keep out sign. As we know, the cameras are a representation of the characters. The design reflects the design of the characters, especially in this scene where you can see the characters' colours are being used. The lens of the camera are the characters' eyes, cleverly shown by this scene where the bridge arches and are the shape of the eyes, while the camera lenses are pupils. The image they capture with their cameras are the character's perspective or thoughts, and this relates to the photos being bright, dull or glowing. In the end, the friend hands him his camera, and you see the main character's eyes are a mix of red and green, just before he uses his friend's camera. The boat scene is visibly dull, with Eve's name written on the front of the boat. This reflects the character's perspective before they met each other. What appears to be snow falling from the sky might be foreshadowing for when the pictures burn and scatter later on. Also in this scene, the main character pulls his friend out of the dark, which is another foreshadowing for when the friend pulls the main character into the light. The world becomes more vibrant and colourful. The whale swimming in the sky is similar to another Eve song, which also has whales swimming. The bridge plays a huge importance to the story, as it appears that it's the place where everything went wrong, indicated with the dull images of the bridge, the keep out sign, the shadow falling onto the main character, and the images burning in the raining scene. When he walks halfway, it's the point where he breaks down. It's possible that this might be the moment where he had lost his friend. Just before walking towards the bridge, his friend started coughing. He starts to cough again in this scene, although more violently, where he's spitting out blood before collapsing. This might have been how he lost his friend, or this might be a reaction to the stress from seeing the main character drowning. The way the friend reaches out shows that he wanted to get through to him, and when travelling through the sky, it's similar to a shooting star, which is often associated with wishing. Here is the wish that the main character continues to live as he pulls him towards the light, to continue to take pictures in his stead, even though he won't be around anymore. When the camera goes from black to white, this represents how the friend changed the character's view of the world, into one where he's at peace and smiling, just like how the friend was when he was leading him. When he is by himself in the end, it's completely different from the start of the video, where he was in all black, smoking on the deck, to bright clothes and taking pictures with his friend's camera. While it might be strange at first to have letters scattered across the video, this might be referring to the phrase, "An image is worth 1,000 words." The lettering may reflect this from the imagery that is used. It's also worth pointing out that the singer himself also wanted to portray a story in the video. As a lot of Eve fans might have noticed, is the appearance of other characters, and in Promised there's a lot of them. Here are a few characters that appear. Feel free to pause the video to read all of them. While at first it's hard to understand whether the friend is beginning to die or is already dead, it makes more sense to think that he's in the process of dying, based on the lyrics and images. It seems I'm not found anywhere in the future you're thinking of, and how his soul is released into the sky, most often used to represent heaven. And when the main character realized he was going to lose his friend, he distanced himself from the situation. Our situation was murky. When I realized, I fled like a coward. During that time, his world became white and felt like time was at an eternal pause. It was like a dream that he didn't want to be awakened from, one where his friend was still around, smiling. Even though he knows it's pointless, he enjoyed it. He recognized that his friend is at peace with having to move on, and feels guilty with not accepting it and running away. His friend managed to find him, only to realize how distraught he was about losing him. When he finally shared his feelings, in the end his friend managed to get through to him, to accept the situation and continue to see the world for him with his camera. If you're new here, I have a playlist with more videos, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. As a reward for reaching the end, here's another thing that I found in Promise. The character appears to be wearing a wristband. However, when we cut back into the scene, he's not wearing the wristband. I assume he must have thrown that into the water as well. If you have reached the end of the video and seen that clip, leave a comment. Until next time, have a good one.